Aurelius is a research and insights platform that helps you collect, analyze, search, and share all your research in one place. So you can go from data to insights to action faster and easier than ever before. Let's take a look at how it works. When you first sign into Aurelius, you get a list of all of your projects. These can be research projects or grouped by product, theme, however you want to organize your research. We'll dive into one to take a look. When you first get into a project, this is your overview page where you can add details about your study and project, and it gives you a snapshot of everything on the project. Now you can add comments to your projects as well, where you can have conversations and updates about what's happening on that project. Now when you first get into a project, you're going to want to go to the Notes tab, because this is where you can add your interview notes, research data, and observations. And notes are very powerful in Aurelius. You can come in here, capture everything you learned from your sessions, tag it, add sentiment, and you can even add documents from your research like audio, video, pictures, or any file you need to tag those and add it as part of your research data. Now there's 3 ways to get notes and data onto your project. The first one is using Aurelius as a note-taking tool. You can actually take notes right here during your interviews as you conduct them. Now, the benefit of doing that is you can actually be tagging these notes as you go, which is going to speed up the amount of time it takes you to analyze and make sense of this data later. And if you have more than one person taking notes on your project, everybody can be in here taking notes, tagging them all together in real time. Now, the next way to get notes and data onto your project is with our bulk input feature. What I'm going to do is copy and paste some sample interview notes and show you how that works. So I just copy these and paste them right into where you add notes in Aurelius. It turns every double line break into a new note, so you can actually work with these automatically. So you come in here and now you can actually tag, add sentiment, and work with these very easily. Now the third way you can get notes and data onto your project in Aurelius is with our Zapier integration. Zapier is an integration platform that lets you connect to thousands of other apps that you already use today. And a popular example, and just one thing you can do with our Zapier integration, is connect it to a survey tool like SurveyMonkey, Typeform, Qualtrics, Google Forms, and then every new answer to your survey can come in here and make a new note at the bottom of your note category right here on your Aurelius project. So that's the 3 ways you can get notes and data onto your project in Aurelius. Now I want to show you one of my personally favorite features that we have in Aurelius. If you take a look at every note category, we're actually doing automatic keyword analysis. So these are keywords that exist from all the notes we took in this particular interview. And we can come in here and filter down by clicking on any one of the keywords. That shows us only the notes that have that keyword. Because from there, I can select all those notes that have that keyword and tag them all together very quickly, let's just say as user research. Now there is another way of doing this. I can actually search by keyword across all of my notes in the project. So let's say we wanted to see everything that had the word report. We just do that search and it shows us only the notes that have that word report. But as I mentioned, this is searching across all of our interviews. So now we can come down here from any and multiple interviews or sources and find all the notes that have the word report and tag all of those together as reporting. So a combination of the keyword search, the automatic keyword analysis that we do, and the ability to tag things in bulk help you very quickly create groups and themes and show patterns in your data so you can analyze it and make sense of it much faster and easier later. You can also add sentiment to your notes, which you can see in the one category. You'll be able to filter off of that later as well. If we take a look at the tags page for our project, this will show us every tag we're using on this project. If we select the tag taking notes, we can select also the tag feature requests and see all of the data even combined. But we also do the keyword analysis here. So what you're seeing are keywords that exist from all the data we tagged as taking notes and feature requests. And of course, we can select and filter down by those keywords here. We're seeing all the data we have with any of those tags we selected, but we can switch it to be a strict view and say it must include all of those tags. And then it shows us notes and data and everything on our project that have both taking notes and feature requests as a tag. Now even further from that, I can say I only want to see the positive ones of that set. Even further from that, I can search by keyword and filter down to see only the ones that mention the word click. So it's very powerful here in the project tags page to help you slice and dice your data to get to exactly what you were looking to learn. Now from here, I can still work with this data. I can select these notes and continue to work with them in adding new tags, adding sentiment, anything I need to do, and continue my analysis. But typically, when we get to this point in our analysis, we want to capture something we learned from this group of notes. And that's what we call a key insight in Aurelius. There's more than one way to make them, but if I just click Create New Insight, even right from here, I can create a new insight. And so we'll say something like, taking notes is a huge part of conducting great research. We can also add a description, adding a little bit more detail about that insight. Now with key insights, you can add a priority and even a type, where you'll be able to filter off of these later as well. But we can also tag insights, so this is about taking notes, so we'll do that. Now if we go over and take a look at key insights, it's going to show every key insight we've made from this project or from this study. But if we go to the insight that we just made, we'll see we have the name and description there, but then all the notes we had selected are attached to the key insight to give it more context and detail and back up what we learned and what led us to this insight. Now because insights are so important to the work we do, they're very powerful in Aurelius as well. I added a tag taking notes to this particular insight. That means I'll be able to find this insight by any keyword in the name, but also by searching that tag even across projects later. So what I'm suggesting is by simply doing your work in Aurelius, creating and capturing insights here, you are automatically building a knowledge library for you to much faster and easier search, share, and reuse everything you've learned from research later on. Now we also have a direct Jira integration in Aurelius where you can take these key insights and send them straight to Jira, getting them in the hands of your product managers, engineers, whoever the case may be. You just choose the project you want to send it to, and then based on the Jira project, what options you have to create it. From there, it sent your key insight to the project, and I'll show you what that looks like. As you can see here, on our Jira board, it created the new insight as a task with its name, description, and every note we had on the insight is now attached here as a bullet point. So your product managers and tech leads can reassign it, prioritize it, link it to other issues, whatever they need to do right in Jira. Now with key insights, as I mentioned, you can add a priority and a type where you'll be able to filter off of all of these later. So we'll say this is high priority and feature related. And you can add comments to key insights as well, where you can have a conversation thread and add a very rich set of data about this insight all attached here on your project. Now the next step in the process is to create action items or recommendations from research, and you can capture those on your project as well. A recommendation is a way for you to capture that action item from research, where you can come in here and make an idea or suggestion or recommendation and then link key insights to that recommendation. So exactly like you're trying to do today, you can come in here and say, here's what we think you should do, and here's why. Here are the insights that led us there. Now, recommendations have a status as well, and a type, so you're able to filter on these later. So if this recommendation moves to development, you can mark it as in progress and have an idea where your work is having an impact. If it launches, you can mark it as complete, and then at the end of the quarter or the cycle, when somebody asks you, what did we get from UX and research, you can say, we helped launch all these things, and here's all the research that we did that backs it up. You can add comments on recommendations as well, having a discussion thread and questions about that particular recommendation that came from research. Now let's take a look at the all tags page. This is showing you every single tag you have from every single project in Aurelius. It's a powerful way to find everything you've learned by tags even across all of your projects. So I simply select a tag or two here, and I can see all the notes, insights, and recommendations and data that have any of those tags from every single project we have in Aurelius. Now, one of the benefits of tags in Aurelius is that they are global by default. I can select multiple tags. If they're the same, I can actually merge them together, give them a new name, and it will change it everywhere it's being used. The same thing applies if I want to edit or delete a tag. If I do that here, it changes it in every project or removes it from everywhere. You don't need to worry about setting up a taxonomy or structure. You just work naturally, and you can manage your tags here globally at any time. There's another way of finding everything you've learned from all your research in Aurelius, and that's with our universal search. So imagine somebody comes to you and says, hey, have we ever done any research about how people take notes? Today, that's probably really difficult to find because it's in emails and spreadsheets and all over the place. But if it's in Aurelius, especially tagged as insights, it's very simple. We can find everything here by keywords, tags, or both. I can search for the word note, and then say I also want results that have the tag taking notes. And here is everything that matches that search from every single project I have in Aurelius. Very powerful for when you need to find something, even across multiple studies. But when you get that information and you get an answer to that question, or you find what you're looking for, you often need to do something with it. And that's where our collections feature comes in. A collection allows you to create a custom group of research data to help you answer a question, create a quick report, share everything you know about a product, a persona, or a feature. So an example here is, here's everything we know about V3 product. You can come in here, give it its own name and description, and then add key insights and recommendations, even from multiple projects, right there into the collection to help answer that question. Now, collections can have comments on them as well, so people can have a discussion about the research data that you brought together, even across all of these projects. Now you can tag collections as well, which means you'll be able to find this collection by that tag, and that's helpful. But the real power of adding the tag taking notes here is I'm automatically importing everything we've ever learned about taking notes from every project right here into this collection. And that stays up to date with anything new that gets tagged as taking notes. Now finally, you can share this collection with anyone by email, and they don't even need an Aurelius account to view it. Just put their email in, it sends them a link to a read-only version of the collection you made. And the best part is, it's a live link, so any changes or updates you make, they get automatically. You don't need to reshare it with them. They just come back, refresh, and they have all the latest. Now, some other big benefits of Aurelius is you can see all your key insights from all your projects in one place very easily. You can search those by keyword, but you can also filter them to say, I want to see every insight we have that's high priority and feature related. And from there, you can actually work with these. You can select these insights and send them to collections or add tags to them, even at a global level. With our All Recommendations page, the same thing applies. This is extremely helpful for when somebody wants to find all the recommendations from research that we've done, even multiple projects. So you can come in here and say, what are all the recommendations we've made that were not started or worked on, that are feature related? Because then you can come in here and actually gather these recommendations, add tags to them, send them to a collection, and then share that with your product team to very quickly get that in the hands of the people working on products and new features to allow your research to directly have an impact on roadmap planning and future releases. One more thing, we were talking about the Zapier integration before. We talked about how you can connect it to your project and have notes getting created automatically on the project from other apps. Well, with our Zapier integration, you can also have every key insight you make from every project automatically push to other apps. So an example I have here is every one I create sends to a Trello board and creates a new card automatically. You can have them send to Slack as a channel message, Microsoft Teams, somebody's email, project management tools, and more. There are literally thousands of options for you to be pushing key insights from Aurelius to other apps automatically. So that's Aurelius at a high level, all of our major features. There's more than one way to do some of the things I showed you, but go ahead and sign up for a 30-day trial and check it all out for yourself.